Alright, you read the title of this video, you know why you're here. But quickly before that, I've played Genshin Impact since day 1, back when I was 16. And I did quit the beginning of this year. I wanted to give Netland one last chance with the last part of the story quest. It absolutely failed me. And I am so sorry that I pulled Maoika. I pulled her before I played the story quest, okay? And I swear to God, after the story quest, all I'm left thinking about her is this.
You are so lucky you are hot, Stella.
And before we start again, sorry, we have to agree on one very important thing. No one reads. Everyone only plays the Archon quest, if they even care. Let's be honest, no one who plays this game, if it's casual or hardcore, is reading, especially not for the story. They will sit there and listen to and only the Archon quest, because they have/want to. No one is going to read these goddamn books, and no one's gonna read story hidden in items like the artifacts or level up materials or whatever else. The only people who do this, who are willing to suffer through this, because of a poorly disguised masochist kink, are furry YouTubers, and by God, respect to them, because I could never. So I personally have only ever watched theory videos for Genshin's story, not for others like HSR or Wuwa. Not a single one for Wuthering Waves actually. I mean, it's not needed. Everything you need to know is in the main story quest. All you need to understand the word for, all you need to understand what's important for the story is in the story. I don't have to look up a theory video on what a sentinel is or whatever. But in Genshin Impact, the Shade of Death shows up out of nowhere. And if I hadn't watched these theory videos long before Netland even happened, I wouldn't have known that the Shade of Death is one of 4 shades who were created by the primordial one, as in the first Descender, who, as you totally know, split themselves into 4 shades and all that stuff that was absolutely mentioned in the main story. So let's get actually into it. There are 3 big bad guys who have never shown up in the main story. And the first one is the first we meet and interact with, the Heavenly Principles. That bitch hasn't shown up to this very day, and the only news we got about her were in Sumeru, like 3 years into the game, and all we got was that lazy ass bitch is fucking asleep since the last and only time she was ever on screen in this whole game. And in the end of Netland we get reminded of that fact, as Maoika punches a fucking hole into the sky and that bitch is still sleeping. Like, what the hell? And remember, before that in Fontaine, the Hydro Archon destroyed the goddamn Hydro Throne, which as far as I understand is the divine authority, I can't say that word for the life of me, I'm sorry, over the Hydro element itself, which was then returned to Novalet, which means that Celestia has lost the control over that power, and the Heavenly Principles hasn't woken up then either. Why is she asleep? Could we even just get a glimpse of her sleeping? You know, show, don't tell. Number 2, the Fatui. The 11 Harbingers, the Tsaritsa, as in the Cryo Archon. All we know is that the Harbingers have been sent on a mission by the Cryo Archon, who we haven't even at least heard of, to get her the other 6 Archons' noses, and that she wants to wage war against Celestia. For what reason? We still don't know, and probably won't know for at least 2 years. Because we're going to go to North Kai this year instead of Shnesnaya. And for the Harbingers, I guess some of them have their own goals they want to achieve, which are mostly revenge on Celestia or protecting their own people to just other selfish things that main story-wise don't fucking matter. And our number 3 big bad guy, the Abyss Order, also known as the Remains of Khaenri'ah. So what do we know about the Abyss Order? Our sibling is their leader, and they want the homeland as in Khaenri'ah to return. They also want to destroy the gods in Celestia. They want to break the curse of immortality, and who knows what those newly introduced 5 sinners want. And I guess the Abyss itself just wants to destroy all of Teyvat or something. Number 3. There is no real progress to our main goal. So what even is our main goal? Is it to save the world out of the kindness of our hearts? Or is it to become a god ourselves? Or no, wait. I think it is to find our sibling, which we did in the first Dainslev quest. And we figured out that our sibling is the leader of the Abyss. You know what it means? It means that our sibling is walking free in this world and isn't imprisoned by the Heavenly Principles. So now we are doing what? Trying to still find them? Wouldn't they just be in the Abyss or anywhere else in the world? In that case, we just have to go to the Abyss, right? They are the Abyss sibling. They are the princess or prince of the Abyss of Khaenri'ah. They are leading the Abyss as far as we know. So why are we still going to other nations? They know nothing about our sibling, and all we do is save them and then receive some info about Celestia and the Heavenly Principles, and maybe some things on how Teyvat works. But really, after 4 years, who the fuck cares anymore? That is not a traveler's main objective. In truth, they don't even care and don't wanna deal with anyone's bullshit. All they want is to be with their sibling again. But for who knows what stupid made-up story reason, the Abyss sibling doesn't want that. Just saying we have to finish our own journey and then maybe make a choice of joining them or the people of Teyvat after we probably figure out what really happened 500 years ago. Oh, and the only time we ever see or even talk about our sibling where they actually matter in the story is in the Dainslev story quests, where we sometimes even meet them again, but only ever get cryptic, one-sided conversations with them because, you know, the traveler doesn't fucking talk. And the last point is, nothing really important is happening, or at the very least, it doesn't feel like it is. There are no climaxes that leave an impact, and no real story development. We are only going from one nation to the next, doing the same thing over and over again. So let me explain a little on what I mean with that. First, what I mean with no climaxes is that yes, every nation has its own story climax, which are almost always the cutscenes and the big boss fights, which is good, but what about the overall story? Something that has an impact on all of Teyvat. Like, for example, why did the hole in the sky that Morika made disappear? It could have stayed. It could have been visible from everywhere, and some NPCs in all the other nations could be talking about it. But no, that's not what happened. Or, as another example, in Fontaine, there is no hydronosis anymore, which was the power source for the judgment system. But hey, that doesn't matter anymore. Muelet has now his true power back, so he can just continue with what he was doing before. No problem. Now there are Inazuma and Sumaru who did get this basically right with the Vision Hunt decree and the Akasha system. Or you know, these world quests that changed the map a little, for example, the top of Dragonspine and other things I don't remember. There is no real story development. I mean, yeah, we did defeat the Ballin, but so what? That doesn't change anything story-wise for Liyue. And yes, we did defeat the Water Dragon God in Liyue, but what effect has that on Inazuma? And awesome, the Vision Hunt decree in Inazuma is over now, and everyone gets their vision back. So what does that do to Sumaru? And yeah, great, Nahida is now free and the evil scribes are in prison now, but how does that impact Fontaine? And damn, the Hydro Archon is dead, and Wallet got his true powers back? But so what? The Heavenly Principles doesn't seem to care. That bitch be sleeping. So what does that matter for Netland? The Abyss is attacking Netland? Non-stop like damn, war is coming. But only to Netland? Just them? Really? But so what? Netland wins, so no worries, other nations. You are all safe. It's like nothing even happened. Oh, and you remember when Maoika punched a hole into the fake sky so we could see the real sky? Yeah, in the end of Netland, you asked her about it. And she asked if she should be worried about the Heavenly Principles. And Traveler just said, oh, no worries, we destroyed the Hydrothrone and that didn't wake her up, so you'll be fine. Hello? Consequences? Ever heard of that? Like, nothing is really happening. Nothing. There are no consequences for no one. Not for the Archons. Not for the people in the nations. Not even for the Traveler. At least nothing I could see when just casually playing the game. Like, the world seems to just be fine, going back to normal, as if nothing happened. And for the Traveler's development, let's be honest, they have a negative 10 personality, but in the story the Traveler's reputation does grow, and they get recognized easily. So when we get to Netland, it makes sense that the people there know us, as well as the Archon knowing and wanting to talk to us as soon as possible. But this one thing means nothing. The Traveler doesn't talk. They look blank as fuck, and by god, please stop with whatever you're doing with Travelers and Paimon's fucking relationship. It's weird as hell. Yes, I get that they would get closer throughout the story, but please, why are we sleeping in the same bed as Paimon? Even if she's not a child, which there ain't no way, she looks like one, and acts like one, and sounds like one, that is hella weird. I mean, truth be told, Paimon knows basically nothing about the Traveler. For this, let's just go with Aether. Paimon doesn't know his real name, so just like everyone else, she calls Aether Traveler. And yes, his name is Aether, because in a bedtime story, the Abyss sibling Lumine is the only one throughout the whole game after 3 years that has called the Traveler by his actual name, Aether. I think that's the first time we even heard the Traveler's real name being said in the game. So if the Traveler won't even tell Paimon their real name, what else does she and even us the player not know about the Traveler? So ain't no way the Traveler and Paimon are close like that. Paimon is Paimon, not our little sibling, or our best friend or whatever. So don't have Paimon sleep in the same bed as us, or fly crying to us and hugging us when we return from the Abyss. She is just getting more and more dependent on the Traveler, like we are her whole fucking world. And that is just fucking weird. I don't know why I wanna say fucking so much. Sorry. So that's it for the video. That's all the reasons, all the things I can think of are for why Genshin Impact's story sucks. And I have made this little clip for Genshin. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. So yeah, bye.
Don't you want to stop him? No, I want to kill him! I want to put Sentinel in chains and march him through the mines so everyone can see him for the false prime that he is! I want him to suffer and then to die in darkness. But we all know that it doesn't matter what I want, right, Pax? The fact is, we're just cogless bots, right? We had limited options, and now we have none.
Second. Alles gut, Paimon? No. Lay down. Anything else you wanna say? More? Oh, not on the keyboard. No! Oh, God. I swear to God, you're so lucky. You're cute and that I love you.